Water is life. Water is what binds all of Earth's creatures together. Almost all major cities are located on water or near an underground aquifer. Our bodies are majorly made of water. It's imperative to ensure the water you consume is clean and pure. But what if it's not clean? What if the water in your house, the water you trust, is slowly killing you? The question is your tap water killing you? Well, if you live in the United States, the answer is complicated. Plenty of news stories reported on Flint, Michigan in 2014. I won't cover a lot of details about this case, but the city is reporting that they are on schedule for replacing all of the lead pipes by the end of this year. Anyways, back to the national crisis. You've heard of lead, right? PB, used for plumbing for nearly forever. The chemical symbol is even derived from the Latin word plumbum, which means waterworks. Lead pipes have been used in every major city in the world. It's been the go-to material for plumbing due to its corrosion resistance and flexibility. Lead pipes were banned in the United States in 1986, but how many of you live in a building older than that? If you're in a city, I would guarantee your building is older than that. Well, if lead is such a great material for building pipes, flexibility, corrosion resistance, what are the downside? Well, it's extremely toxic. Ingesting too much lead causes bone and neurological problems. Low levels of lead contamination can cause lower IQ and learning problems in children. In adults, it can harm the reproductive system and cause hypertension. During pregnancy, lead gets transferred to the fetus and gets deposited in the bones along with calcium. You're probably asking, why am I exposing big lead? Well, big lead is trying to keep us dumb, and if I disappear, you know what happened. Decades after we learned what lead can do to the body, there were some tests run on lead pipes, and they were deemed safe with a combination of pH balancing and by adding calcium carbonate to coat the inside of the pipes to prevent chunks of lead falling into our water supply. Even decades after learning the effects of lead on the nervous system, engineers were still using lead pipes, and they were deemed safe with a combination of pH balancing and by adding calcium carbonate to coat the inside of the pipes to prevent chunks of lead falling into the water supply. Well, it's turning out not to be as effective as previously thought. In 2019, the U.S. set the action level for lead to be 0.015 milligrams per liter and requires local utility companies to monitor lead at the endpoint, your home. If the utility company isn't keeping the levels low enough, they're required by the government to start replacing old pipes. We're putting a lot of trust in our utility companies. So this is primarily referring to Chicago's problem with lead, but what is New York doing? Well, New York has replaced most of the pipes already, but Chicago is lagging behind. In Chicago, 400,000 homes get their water from a lead service pipe, and this has resulted in 70% of young children in the city being exposed to lead, resulting in lead in the bloodstream being distributed to the brain and vital organs. Probably not something that we want for our next generation. In case there's any confusion, lead is not a nutrient. Your body doesn't need any level of lead to function. In fact, lead only hurts. It affects the brain, it affects the nervous system, it affects the bones, etc. Chicago's lead problem is so widespread, the EPA has actually recommended residents to have their water tested and listed measures to reduce exposure. I put these on the screen for your convenience. The EPA's list starts with have your water tested. You can usually reach out to a utility company or a city website and have them come out and test it. You could also order your own kits. You should also be aware of any work that could disturb your lead service line, any sort of main replacement, anything that'll disturb the ground. The EPA also recommends letting your water run for 45 to 60 seconds before you take any for consumption. They say use cold water for drinking, cooking, and preparing baby formula. They recommend purchasing a water filter that has specifically lead-free on it. Purchase lead-free faucets and plumbing components. And finally, if this is necessary, remove the entire lead service line. But if you're like me and you're lazy and you only care a little bit about this, I think using a filter and letting your tap run for about a minute is the easiest way to reduce lead exposure. If you're not lazy, definitely order a test kit. So is your tap water killing you? Probably not. Probably not to the point where you're going to be suffering from any problems. Why did I make this video? No idea. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.